ASMR adoption. Are you trying to adopt a baby? ASMR. Oh man, I cracked myself up. My son loves the ASMR. Do you know what I'm talking about? Anyone else into ASMR? ASMR. That's ASMR. My son would sometimes fall asleep to it. And I have a cousin who actually does it. She's talented. I have this piece of hair that's like flying. There we go. How's everyone doing this Thursday morning? I don't even have my notes up. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Let's see. It is a Thursday morning and it's exciting. We've had all sorts of activity lately, which is awesome. Hold on, let me get my things. Lots of matches and babies being born and good stuff. Had a fall through, but no money lost and pretty quickly. So if it's going to happen, let it happen that way. Fine. And I've already sent them another situation because they're a biracial couple and I get situations for Black and biracial couples probably on the daily. So if that's you, you have a pretty good chance of adopting quickly. Just throwing it out there. Okay. And we have a joiner. Hello. They are coming in droves. Hello, folks. Good morning. You missed my ASMR, so you'll have to go back and re-listen to it if that's your jam. Okay. Birth plans change. Conflicting information happens. Confusion on the multi-agency approach. We're going to talk about it. Let me have a sip of my coffee. Who else is drinking coffee with me? I didn't get any pictures of mugs last time. This is one of my favorites. It has like, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there we go. So pretty, isn't it? I think somebody bought this for me. And I am just realizing this is not 12 ounces of coffee. I may have pulled my mug away too soon or run out of water. That is extremely disappointing. But anyways, let's get to it. And as always, if you have any questions about the adoption process, like I like to call it the adoption roadmap, then, type it. You know where to type it. I'll answer. I'll give you some sort of answer. Birth moms, birth plans changed in our, so what I mean by a birth plan, about 3 weeks prior to birth, the social worker that's working with the expectant mom will put together a birth plan with her. And who knows what is included in this birth plan while I take another sip. What are some things you think would be included in a birth plan? I'd love to hear from you. Makes it way more, exciting. How do you like the dark, by the way? I want a little darker. Got a little new hairdo. Anyone have any guesses on birth plans? All right. Well, since the comments are just flying in, let me tell you some of the things that are included in a birth plan. It is who's going to name the baby, who's going to hold the baby first, will the baby breastfeed or bottle feed, who's going to do that, does birth mom want to hold the baby, does she want the baby in the room with her or in the nursery, and when? Does she want alone time with the baby? If the baby's a boy, does she want the baby circumcised, or does she want to give that choice up to for the adoptive parents? Things like that. Okay. And then the agency will share that plan with the hospital to let them know the birth mom's wishes. Now, another big one is, does she want the adoptive parents in the room with her as she is giving birth? Assuming it's not a C, because I don't think you can be in the room if it's a C-section. Not pause. Birth plans change. Minds change. Nerves play into the picture. It doesn't necessarily mean she's not planning to place or that she is planning to place. It doesn't really mean anything other than it's, shit's getting real. And feelings are starting to, nerves are starting to play in. So the biggest thing that you can do is just go with it. Go with the flow. Don't push back. Don't ask questions. This is her, other than to your agency or to your consultant. Your consultant is better because you don't even want your agency to know you're questioning everything. So your consultant can help guide you into what's appropriate, what's not, and can probably answer most of your questions. But this is her choice. These are her choices. And the best thing we can do is just support whatever she chooses and go with the flow. So, if you have any questions about birth plans, let me know. If you have any experience with that, did yours go smoothly? Did it not? Did things change? And most of this stuff you're going to know ahead of time. And again, minds change. So just go with the flow. Now I want to talk a little bit about conflicting information after a sip of my 4 ounces of coffee and not the 12 ounces that I pushed to brew. It's good though. It hits the spot. Not very warm anymore though. Conflicting information from expectant mom. Conflicting information that you get from the agency and from the expectant mom if you have a relationship with her. So sometimes the agencies will tell you something and they give you the information about the expectant mom, and then they will let you have a relationship with her. Some agencies prefer you start talking directly. Usually the first time is with the agency on the line, whether it be a Zoom or a phone call. And then after that, some agencies will let you just continue that relationship on your own. We had a situation where one of our families went to meet the birth mom, and they have a wonderful relationship, and the trust is being built. And our clients learned a lot about their expectant mom, and it was a little bit different than what the agency had told them. The story goes something like this. Always err on the side of trusting the birth mom, especially, or the expectant mom, especially if you have built a relationship with her. Sometimes the agency is nervous to ask questions, which sucks. They should, but they also, they walk a fine line sometimes of what crosses a boundary for her, what she's comfortable with, what she's not comfortable with, and doesn't want to push her away. So sometimes they don't get the full picture if they're not asking all the questions or if they haven't worked with her for a long time. So if you are working directly with the expectant mom and building that relationship, and you find out something that's a little bit different than what the agency told you, I would err on the side of what she is telling you. Go with your gut. But sometimes that happens. And also, there seems to be a little bit of confusion sometimes on what it means to walk through your adoption with a multi-agency approach. And I go into it in okay, I go into the multi-agency approach in detail in my book, The Adoption Roadmap. You can find it on Amazon. It's cheap. Um, you can read it on Kindle for like $3 or something like that, $4. But the multi-agency approach is basically that. And what I like to equate it to is if you go to a financial planner and you say, here's $1 million, I'd like to invest it. What is that financial planner going to tell you? Is that planner going to say, great, we're going to put all of it into Google? Could be a good option, but maybe a safer option that might get you quicker results is to diversify, right? So it's the same exact strategy. We want your profile to be in as many different places as expectant moms are looking at profiles, so agencies, attorneys, websites, as you possibly can, so that more eyes are on your profile and more expectant moms have the opportunity to look through your book and possibly choose you as the parent to their child. So essentially, that's what the multi-agency approach is. Now, the first question always is, well, how can I afford that? Aren't they like $10,000 up front, $15,000, $20,000 up front? Yes, and there are a lot that are that amount of money up front. And there are also a lot that are nothing up front, $750 up front, $1,000 up front, $3,000 up front. It ranges. So, and what's the difference? That's the difference. The only difference really is that they can, model their agencies however they want. And so it doesn't mean that one is better than the other. It's just a different strategy from the agency. And so I'd rather see you at various agencies, and the size doesn't necessarily matter from the agency. What matters most is looking at all of their statistics, right? How many placements are they doing a year? How many fall throughs do they do a year? What have they done so far this year? Who's on their list? Who's on their list like me? Who's on their list that's more open? Who's on their list that's more closed? What support do they give their expectant mom? When do they usually match? Like, these are all things that you should know about an agency before you decide who to sign up with. And we do all of that research, and that's what we present to our families when having them choose the agencies that they work with. And we have all our families sign up with at least 3 agencies. The only exception, and as many as they can, by the way, the only exception is with Black and biracial couples. For those families, we typically say, wait, don't sign up anywhere. I'm likely going to get a situation sent to me tomorrow, next week, which I do often. So a lot of times they don't even have to sign up. All right, let's see. Is there anything I think that's it. I'm going to keep it short and sweet today. Those are my 3 little nuggets. I have a lot to prepare today. I have a lot on my calendar. Today is recording day, where I am going to, start recording some of my upcoming podcast episodes. So keep your ears and eyes open for that. It may not happen for a little while. I need to get, all the stuff done in the background first before I launch it to the world. All right, guys, anytime you have a question about adoption, what it means to adopt, what it looks like, who's an expectant mom, how does this process work, either ask in our social, DM me, slide into my DMs, Slide some oil to me. I was the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz, and we incorporated, this is a little fun fact about me. This was in 5th grade, and they incorporated songs from The Wiz, and that was my solo. Slide some oil to me, slip some to my spine. If you don't have STP, Crisco will be just fine. Yeah, so that was my solo. It was fun. And that's what I'm going to leave you with, that little ditty. See you later. Always happy to hop on a call. Face to face. Ask your questions. Get your journey started. We're here for you. Bye-bye. Have a good Thursday and a better weekend.